Okay. Are we good here? We're good? A 1 and a 2.
Are we allowed to play music on the intro during the 3 weeks?
Yes.
Okay.
Unless you start dancing to it. That'd be weird. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to record right now. Recording has started and hit it.
No dancing, it's the 3 weeks.
Thank you.
Be sad. This is a very sad Torah talk. I'm like all ripped up inside, thinking
Really?
about what the Romans did to us 2,000 years ago. Just like a knife right in the heart. Just like,
Thanks for that. Hey everybody. Welcome to the House of Rabs. How you doing tonight? Thanks for coming out. Give yourselves a round of applause. Welcome to Torah Talks. I'm Rabbi Rabs, and to my right is the one and only, the very holy Levi ben Abraham, aka Luke Ford, and we have a special show for us tonight, don't we? And because we have a special show, we even brought in a live audience. So give yourselves a round of applause if you're in the audience. Oh, way to get excited. How about it go like that? Okay.
she's your sister. She's not going to applaud anything you do.
Right, my sister's in the audience tonight. Okay, so we have a live audience member. Speaking of which, before we started the show, she and I were talking. She might have she's thinking about women that might be right for you. You know, with somebody who's like a little bit morally
Strong.
bankrupt.
Bankrupt? Chas v'shalom.
Okay, somebody. See, she used to be a Girl Scout leader.
I love Girl Scouts.
Right, because you like cookies and
Those chocolate minty things.
right.
Like
But
camping in the woods and
right,
building
and
forts. And
teenagers in miniskirts.
Chas v'shalom.
All right, so the thing is, like, when she was a Girl Scout leader, this was years ago, and those girls have grown up a little bit, right? So we're thinking, like, maybe one of them or more might. We're trying to figure out if it might be fitting for you, right? So I was saying, well, like, you know, what would be right for Levi, right? What kind of woman would be right for you, right? So I was thinking one who's relaxed when it comes to the idea that you were involved in porn.
Oh yeah, mine in detail.
You know,
So
like,
a lot of Orthodox Jews dabbled in that. So
right? Yeah.
it really shouldn't be too big of an issue.
But on the plus side, okay, although that all these girls at the time grew up from, some of them went off the path a little bit.
So did I.
Yeah, so I was thinking maybe we could focus on the girls that kind of like veered to the right or the left a little bit, you know, kind of didn't find their way walking down the path, kind of went into the forest, got lost in the trees. I was thinking maybe that might be, like she said that one of the girls like completely left and she became a soldier. She's running around in Iraq with a machine gun, and she's got a kid and she was never married.
Perfect.
and like my sister said, would you be open, let's say somebody who's not necessarily 100% Orthodox? You would be okay with that?
Yeah.
We might be able to work something. We might be able to work something. Because if you wanted somebody who was like really mainstream, right, just like, you know, on the straight and narrow,
Like myself.
you know, yes, it might be a little bit more complicated to find you somebody.
A little bit.
What do you think about all that? What do you have to say?
Sounds good.
Yeah?
I love Girl Scouts.
What's basically your criteria for women? What are you looking for?
Someone who finds things funny.
Okay. Somebody has a sense of humor. Yeah, and isn't going to be put off by you.
Who's going to be amused.
Yeah, just someone who thinks like, somebody who looks at you and goes, God, that is exactly what I want.
Oh, as I was walking over here, this woman I know like yells at me from a car. Getting longer every day.
What is?
My beard.
Oh, your beard. Okay.
Chas v'shalom.
I thought maybe you're walking around with your pants down. I don't know.
I'm a man of God. My every behavior is dictated by God's immutable and eternal moral law.
Right on. That's why you're the moral leader.
Exactly.
That's why you're the world's moral leader. That's why you're the Prince of the Apocalypse.
Exactly.
Sir Lord Luke of I don't know. All right. The Earl of the Duke.
The Earl of Ethics.
The Earl of Ethics, the Duke of Douchebaggery. Now we have DMedic in the chat room, so give it up for our boss.
Hey, boss, what's up?
Hey, boss. Should we go to the next piece?
Sure.
Okay. DMedic asked us, he asked me to weigh in. He wanted to hear us weigh in on this whole Norway business. Have you been following the story at all?
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought, we'd talk about that a little bit now.
Yeah.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, I've been pining for the fjords in Norway. Like they're just so rugged.
Okay.
Just how I like my women. They've got really sharp up and downs, and the glaciers just making its way through the fjords. So I'll admit, when I heard about a bombing in Oslo on Friday morning, and then some lunatic shooting kids, I immediately thought Islamic terrorist. And then when an Islamic terrorist group claimed responsibility, I said, yeah, Islamic terrorist.
Why would, in retrospect, why would that group claim responsibility when they didn't do it? What is that about? I forgot about that. That's why everybody thought it was an Islamic terrorist, because some group, the jihad somebody, took credit for it.
Yeah, worldwide jihad.
Look, this is how it works, okay? If you want to take credit for something, you want to talk the talk, walk the walk. Don't, piggyback off somebody else does all the work, right? Somebody else went through the bother, not only planting a bomb, but shooting for an hour and a half. I mean, think of all that work and exercise you had to do, right? And then you call and take credit for it? What the hell's wrong with you? So I don't just have disrespect for you because you've, incited jihad, but you're taking credit for other people's stuff. That's just wrong. What do you think about that?
Yeah, there are no ethics among terrorists these days.
That's really,
what's the world coming to?
You should copyright or have a trademark on your stuff. Okay, so this guy, that job, did you read his manifesto?
Not all 1,500 pages of it.
You know what they said? They copied and pasted a lot of it
from the Unabomber.
Yeah, I don't need to read it. I don't need to know anything about this guy. But I already know, this guy is, certifiable. Just by the fact that he chose to copy and paste from this other nut job. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're going to copy and paste from great orators or great thinkers or great literalists, you'd start with Lady Ford, right?
Exactly.
You go to LukeFord.net and start copying from there, right?
Exactly.
Great thinkers of our time, right?
Exactly.
You don't go to the Unabomber. What is this? By the way, do you happen to know if the manifesto is written in English or is it written?
It's written in English. He displays a facility with English.
Oh, this guy wrote it in English?
Yeah.
Okay, because the bloggers who broke the story broke it on Swedish blogs, and I tried to read their blogs today, and I can't. It's all in Swedish. Or whatever it is, Norwegian.
Yeah, no, he wrote in English. But I will give one serious comment that Dennis Prager has been saying for the past few years, that Europe is either going to end up under Islamic rule or it's going to have a civil war.
Oh, yeah, well, okay, let's talk about that. I think first of all, I just want to say this about Norway. Before we even start the discussion about what happened, I just want to say this, for the record, that it needs to be understood that where I stand on Norway, because I'm biased in this a little bit, is Norway is an anti-Semitic country. They've had on the books for over 100 years, since the 1870s, that they banned kosher slaughter. And it's been banned ever since the 1870s. And even one of their leaders was quoted as saying that the reason, they just came out and admitted it, that the reason that they have it is so that Jews don't live in the country. It's got nothing to do with animal rights or the procedures that are used. They're not saying it's more humane or less humane, kosher slaughter versus non-kosher slaughter. They just flat out don't want Jews living there. And if you don't let Jews give them food to eat, you don't let them slaughter kosher, then...
Yay, Ellen's here.
Ellen's here and Reb Taco, who I think is Chaim Amalek. I think he's Chaim Amalek. All right, so hey everybody in there. And Henry was in there a while ago too. I don't know where he went. The first thing I just want to get out there, everybody, is that Norway can go fuck itself. Okay, it's an anti-Semitic country. I'm not welcome there. They've made it official. They've made it an official law banning kosher slaughter. They don't want me there. They're offended by my very presence there, and they can go fuck themselves. Now, having said that, I just got to get that out there because I'm no fan of that country. I will, however, say that there is a movement in Norway to be